of different recipes for her children's favorite meal, lasagnas that were lean and healthy. In Life Through Lasagna's Eyes, Samantha Kendall shares her journey of how she overcame adversities and tragedy by discovering her destiny in entrepreneurship, and she is joining us today. I think we have her on the line, right, John? Okay. Good morning, Samantha, and welcome to our program.
Good morning, Brenda. Thank you for having me.
Now, after reading your book, I know that you make and sell lasagna, but I would like you to share with my listeners how you got the title Sam the Lasagna Lady.
Oh, my gosh, yes, absolutely. I got the name Sam the Lasagna Lady. I started making lasagna, doing my passion so long ago, and I knew I needed a mentor, so I reached out to Seattle Sutton, and she's a lady who does healthy meals, for people all over the world. She's a wonderful woman. And I called her up one day, and I said, hey, Sam, hey, Seattle, this is Sam. And she says, who? And I had just talked to her a week before, and she said, who is this? And we went back and forth, and I said, it's Sam. And then I just said, the lasagna lady. And she says, oh, my gosh, dearie, how are you? How's your family? So she never knows me by Sam. She only knows me by the lasagna lady. And even today, it's funny. She does not know me by Sam.
And that kind of caught on, and so that's how everybody knows you now, right?
Yes.
When I first heard about your book, I thought it was going to be filled with different lasagna recipes with kind of your story layered in between the recipes. But instead, you've taken one of America's favorite dishes, lasagna, and you've compared it to life. How did you develop this particular recipe that you share in the book?
I developed this by relating the ingredients to life and then relating the lasagna to life and the layers. So take cheese, for instance. Cheese, it locks in the flavor once it's melted. It's ooey gooey and everything like that, and it locks in all those ingredients and the flavor. But also, we have those cheesy people that are in our life who will hold us up, who kind of will lock us in when we're going through whatever it may be. It may be a heartbreak, or a great pain, but they're the ones that's praying for us. They're holding us up. They're letting us know that we can make it. So I just related each ingredient after getting that thought that, hey, you know what? I can take these ingredients and the layers and relate it to life.
And you go through each of the chapters, the noodles, the meat, the sauce. One of the ones that I really loved was the baking process, which you call laughter, which every life has to have, laughter. And you talk about the in lasagna with all of those layers sort of bubbling as they're baking, and you need the bubbling of laughter in life as well.
Yes, absolutely. After I lost my daughter back in 2006 to gun violence, it was really hard for me to laugh again. So writing this chapter, this particular one, was so therapeutic for me. And when I got my laughter back, oh, my gosh, did it feel really good.
And I want to say sorry for your loss. It's always very difficult. You were also going through a divorce at the same time. And so that could have been enough to weight you down so that you never wanted to get back up. But you just have sort of an effervescence for life that comes through in your book, Life Through Lasagna Eyes. How did you get through it, and when did the idea for the book come about? Was it gradually as you were getting over these losses in your life, or was it pretty quickly afterwards?
You know what? I want to say that it was pretty quickly and it was gradually. And I say pretty quickly because I forgave my ex-husband. I forgave the person that murdered my daughter. I forgave right away so that I can focus on, the things for me and grieving and those types of things. So I forgave right away. So that was pretty quickly. But the gradual process, I journaled for over 10 years, and I said, you know what, I need to extract some of this meat and some of these ingredients actually from my journal and put it into a book, not just for myself to be therapeutic, but for others too who may suffer a great pain or a real bad hurt or breakup.
Well, and the book Life Through Lasagna Eyes, The Recipe for Life, as we said, is kind of layered, just like a lasagna would be. And you give us just a really important outlook and attitude to take forward. And these days, there are many people that are hurting in many different ways. How can your book help them?
Well, my book can help them overcome heartbreak, to accomplishment and finding their passion, but more importantly, finding themselves, because a lot of people are broken today. So it encourages them that no matter where they are in the process or where they are in their life's pain, whatever that might be. It could be, my neighbor ruined my lawn. It could be anything.
Sure.
But that you can make it through that process and find your passion, find who you are, and not get lost in the process, not lose who you are in the process.
Now, when you started making lasagna, did you ever think that you would still be doing that 10 years later and that your company would have grown, that you would truly become an entrepreneur?
I had no idea. My background is in executive administration, so I had no idea. But, after doing the passion, and it's built so much on love and family, I said, you know what, this needs to be on every household, in every place, in America, in the world. To share our love. So I didn't think that, no.
And, I was struck as I read through the book how, and you didn't focus a lot on how you built your business, but you are from the Chicago area, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and reading through the book, you would go from place to place early in the morning delivering those lasagnas, and so it started out as just a very tiny business that now has grown, but your persistence and perseverance shined through on each of those pages, just in the little bit that you talked about your business.
Yes. I started in my kitchen so long ago doing different lasagnas. I started off with 3. I have so many varieties now. And to date, we are in Whole Foods in the Midwest region. So we're excited about that. But I was going from place to place. I would start from the suburbs here in Chicago, Burr Ridge, Clarendon Hills, all the way to downtown Chicago. And before I can even reach downtown Chicago, people had already called me up. Not sure how they got the number, but they called me up. Can you put 2 slices? Can you put 3? So by the time I got down there, I had maybe a few left. And then I said, you know what? I'm just going to, find someone, homeless and give it to them and have them enjoy some good lasagna.
Yes, which you recount in the book as well.
Yes.
So Whole Foods in the Midwest here is where we can sample your lasagna, correct?
Absolutely. They carry 2 of our lasagnas. They carry our broccoli vegetable lasagna, where the broccoli is a star ingredient, and then they also carry our kale vegetable lasagna, where the kale is a star ingredient. But if people do not live in the Midwest region, they can go to their local Whole Foods store and say, hey, and they can talk to a team leader there or a manager and say, hey, we'd like to bring Sam's Gourmet Lasagna. How can we do that? And they'll make that happen for you.
And do you have a website, or where can people purchase the book?
I do have a website. It's www.samsgourmetlasagna.com. And the book, Life Through Lasagna Eyes, The Recipes for Life, can be purchased at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble. But if they go to their local bookstore, they can order it right there for them, too, as well.
Okay. Well, each chapter of Life Through Lasagna Eyes is a layered look at life. It offers hope and encouragement to anyone going through tough times. And the book is written with honesty, humor, and passion. Thanks so much, Sam, for taking time to talk with us today.
Oh, thank you, Brenda, for having me. You guys have a great day.
You too.